Idle industries have cast workers into unemployment, human misery.
Healthcare, the great debate. Or is it? Forced or mandated healthcare? Go to jail terms for non-compliance? Very high cost. No coverage till 2014, but the taxes start now? This is not a logical debate of any kind. What's the big rush? I will tell you. They can't continue down this road of unsustainability. And they can't hold control for much longer. The people have awoken. And they hoped that we would be distracted by the Christmas season, but no such luck. But I do think it's sad that they're filling our Christmas season with this nonsense. This is an unconstitutional act of defiance against the supreme law of the land, the will of the people. And since we the people and the Constitution are that supreme law in this land, this act is deemed unlawful. So, in most polls, 61% say no and 34% say yes. Clearly, 34% have not read this bill. You put two or three good provisions in the bill out of 2,000 pages of nonsense, and you call it a good bill? Have you even read it? Senator Nelson and all the others who supported this unconstitutional, totally against our charter, 2,000 pages of a pathetic excuse of a bill. This bill is absolute garbage. Is this the best that America could do? I mean, really? You have all ignored our protest, our calls, and etc. You just aren't listening. But you have only emboldened us. We're going to keep our cool, take a breath, and look at this from a common sense, logical perspective, since you cannot. Let me remind you of this, and then I'm going to tell you what we the people are going to do. The United States Constitution was written in 1787, ratified in 1788, and it's been in operation since 1789. The United States Constitution is the world's longest surviving written charter of government. The first three words, we the people, affirm that the government of the United States exists to serve its citizens. The supremacy of the people through their elected representatives is recognized in Article 1, which creates a Congress consisting of the Senate, the House of Representatives, and the position of the Congress, beginning of the Constitution, reaffirms its status as the first branch of the federal government. Got that? I'm sure you haven't read it. I consider the people who constitute a society or a nation as the source of all authority in that nation. Thomas Jefferson. The day you were elected, and the day that you elected to take the job, you made a promise. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or the purpose of evasion, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office for which I am about to enter. So help me God. You are not doing your job. You have failed. Not only the United States Constitution, but the will of the people. Your allegiance is to not any party. Your allegiance is to the people and to uphold the United States Constitution. In front of God, you have lied. In front of the people, you have lied. And you, sirs, are derelict in your duties. Thank God there are people like me that exist to lead in a time of a crisis, to have the courage to say what needs to be said. You are an embarrassment to Nebraska and the founders of this great republic. And if they were alive today, there would be no doubt in most of our minds what they would do. Thank God for millions of people like me who will defend what cannot defend itself. We must call all current senators and House members to bring a motion of impeachment, that pesky Constitution again, against all those who go against the Constitution. Article 1 of the United States Constitution gives the House of Representatives the sole power of impeachment and the Senate the sole power to try convictions. Or you must resign or be removed by any constitutional or legal means and replaced by someone who will abide by their oath of office, not the oath of any political party. Listen, people, this must stop on both sides. We have two private organizations that are holding us hostage and not living up to their duties on many fronts, not just healthcare. Now, Nebraska has a provision in their constitution called a citizen grand jury by petition. Basically, we can call our own grand jury. Now, if you look into my eyes, you will see something. We are not afraid. Our ancestors stood against the greatest empire and most powerful empire on earth at the time and won. Look closely. You will see the end of tyranny. We stand for an idea greater than any man. We stand for an idea that is old as time itself. An idea that cannot be bought, killed, or discredited. If you knock down one of us, 10 will rise in their place. And I call on all my brothers and sisters to take your rightful place as defenders of the United States Constitution and become refounders of our republic. Decisive action is needed to turn these protests and phone calls into a national movement to call for the resignation or the impeachment nationwide of all those who oppose the Constitution and the vision of the founders as it was put in place. It would not be the first time that a politician was removed from office because they failed in their duties. And Merry Christmas.